But I can't tell you, we're coming over here because I'm a paranoid and a little anal, and I was going, okay, what do you say? What are you going to say? They're going to have some people there. And then when I walked in, it was new faces I hadn't seen, met new people. And then I met people that have been with us from the first campaign for Congress, when it was all about the love, and it's still about the love. And your support, your friendship, you being there through the good times, and yes, bad times, have meant everything to us. It's meant everything to me. I really think that my career in politics is defined by the people that are in this room. So thank you. I don't know what else to say about that. I also wanted to take a moment to talk about this election and to thank you for being here. We felt that this election, we couldn't ignore the fact that we're going to have to work hard. Yeah, there's going to be challenges, but we're going to work really hard. And the reason that we're working hard is because this election in 2012 is both a challenge and a defining time for this great country of ours. Where are we going to be? What kind of people are we going to be? And what kind of a nation we're going to be? That is what's at stake. And all of us, not in Tucson, but across this country, went through a very tragic experience, a very hurtful experience that befell our good friend, Gabby Giffords. People died, people were hurt. And from the depths of that dark moment, we also learned something. We learned about resilience. We learned about the determination, the personal determination of Gabby, but we also learned a little bit about ourselves. And the lessons were that in this political world that we all work in and deal with, that there has to be some room for civility. There has to be some room where we treat each other with a margin of respect. We can disagree, passionately disagree. But to turn our disagreements into hatred and fear, that's not what the American political system is about. And 2012, because elections have consequences. They have consequences. And you can't separate ourselves from those consequences. And those consequences have to deal with what are we investing in as people? What do we care about? And for some reason, guys, I always end up with opposition. There's people that have been in Congress much longer than I. They just get up in the morning, file their petitions, and get elected. I haven't had the good fortune. And so elections have consequences. And so why do I have 3 people in the primary and 2 people in the general that are going to decide which Republican runs in the general election? And I want to think, because of this defining moment in this country, and I said, what's the motive? Why do we have this paralysis in Washington, D.C., where we can't get things done? Why do we have that? And I've come to the real conclusion that the reason that we have this paralysis is greed. A pervasive and corrupting influence in our political system that tells the American people, you wait your turn while some of us do well. You wait your turn while the rest of us do better. And that's not America. And greed should not be the determiner of who we are as a country and who you elect or not elect. Our campaign, and I'm going to be about issues, where you stand on the issues, and I want to vigorously debate those issues, and I want where people's positions are, because I think it's healthy for the process. We shouldn't hide from what we believe, and we shouldn't hide from our records, and I won't do that. I am not going to personally attack my opponents. I'm not going to demean them. I'm not going to lie about them. And I'm not going to distort. But I want to make sure that they understand that we will not tolerate that behavior in them. And I also want to know, because as we go forward with this election, to me it's an affirmation of what we've been trying to do for all these years. And it's my birthday, so as you get older, you begin to look at, you get an interesting perspective on life. And my perspective, and as we get into this election, we're not going to play dirty, we're going to play clean. But I do have to tell you something about my opponents, if you don't mind. These are facts, absolute facts. In the primary, I have 3 opponents. None of them live in the district that they're running in. The 2 males have never lived in the old district or the new district. And so, we're all going to be out there asking for your sacred vote. Unfortunately for my opponents, they won't be able to sign their own petition or even vote for themselves. But in this great democracy of ours, everybody should have a chance. 2 of the 2 males they've recently become Democrats. And I welcome them. Welcome to the light. But this is why positions are so important. Because we're going to find out from those individuals whether if they made a complete switch or they just switched labels. We need a complete switch, because if you're going to run in a Democratic primary, you need to talk about what this party's about, what it stands for, and what it's going to stand for in the future. And so I got to inoculate you. I got to tell you how we're going to get hit. So let's talk about that. First one is going to be Raúl's outlived his usefulness. It's time for a new prototype of politician that can reach across the aisle, work with the other side, and get things done. Now, I don't know where my opponents have been the last year. If they haven't seen who's in charge of the House of Representatives, they're not working with the real reality here. Because in order to compromise and reach consensus, it has to be a give and take, not just a take. And so my question will be, okay, when we reach across the aisle, how much of the Grand Canyon do we allow mining to happen in? None.